John, that's a tight game. That must be a tough one to take after having so many opportunities to come away with nothing from that game.
It's frustrating. Pleasing thing is that we're starting to make more chances. So we had 23 shots, 10 on target, which unusual for us. That I think Jack had about 7 of them himself. It was like a one-man crusade. You just can't legislate for what's happened. Well, you can, because you've got to defend better from a set play. But they didn't. I mean, they've had our keepers made one good save, but they didn't really look like scoring. You know, they played some nice football, but we took it off them time and time again. We made chances. It's either a brilliant save or a lucky save from their keeper with the double ricochet. So I'd like to wear, and it was a great save. We've wasted a couple of opportunities. We wasted one after 5 minutes. You know, Jake going clean through. That can be the difference. I think if we score that, I think we go on and win the game quite comfortably. But it wasn't to be. And you've got to take your chances when they're presented. We spoke about we'd had a lot of shots and the keeper had parried them, and then he goes and does another one in the second half, and he gets there before our player. He gets up off the floor to get there ahead of our player. When if we're following that in, you're getting a goal or a penalty because the keeper's had to lunge to get a hand on it. And they're the fine margins. You know, people don't mean to lose the man from corners, but it happens, and it's cost us. And bounce with a ball, it could hit the post and go wide. It's hit the post and gone in. Hit the post and come out. But you know, that's when things don't go for you, and I don't think a lot of things bounce for us today. But we kept on going right to the end. I thought we defended well in the main, and I thought we attacked well with such a disjointed side and having to make changes the way we had to. You know, you're constantly looking to be better, but you know, losing another 2 players out the squad this week with another 3 with Seamus and Josh Woods and Hendo. So, and you know, young Tricky making his full debut. I think that, you know, he nearly scored a great goal with his left foot. And if you look at what keeper's been worked the most, it's theirs by a mile.
Well, I think at the end they all rushed to their keeper, didn't we? We sort of told it all. Really, he was their man of the match by some distance.
Well, he was. But you know, you take your chances. You don't give him chances to save. You know, I think if Jake had that chance again, he wouldn't have hit it the way he did. He'd control it because the keeper was in no man's land, and then you wouldn't be lauding their keeper, and you'd be absolutely ironing him out for an horrendous mistake, because he's done the okey cokey. He's gone back and forth, and left Jake with a clean one-on-one, and he should score. So that's the difference there, the fine margins in football. But you know, you can see how much it means to lads. We kept going right to the end. And we've gone on the big game this week, so we'll have to just take them as they come.
Some of the is that down to inexperience? You've got a very young team out there, John. Is some of that that lack of clinical finishing, that lack of a bit of awareness, a bit of nous about is that down to the age of the squad just at the minute? They're learning on the job.
Possibly, but you know, I thought Calvin was superb today again. You know, deservedly captain on the side and played the captain's performance. And a little bit of naivety, you know, and maybe, you know, Jake hasn't played a lot of games this season, so he hasn't scored a lot of goals, and so that he hasn't had too many chances since he's been playing for us. So you tend to snatch your chances like that. I know that, being a striker. And then the ones we had in the second half, you know, Les has got a great chance at the far post with an open goal to head it into, and Cody takes it off his head. You know, that little things, you know.
And then, of course, you've got Joe Gubbins with the header right at the death. That's close range as well. So, the chances were there, weren't they? Well,
you know, if you think about it, you've had 2 corners. Joe's man's had a free header and scored. We've had a free header that's closer to the goal and missed. And that's how you get a result in football, and it's happened too often to us.
We talked a lot about the injury situation, all of us, all season at Accrington. It's mind-boggling, really, what you've had to cope with. But on the other hand, you've been able to develop some players, haven't you? You talked about young Trickett getting his first appearance today, and the young lad off the
young
bench.
Ange, yeah.
Ange,
you know, Ange will come on for that. You know, good experience. And you only want him to do well. You know, he's got something, and he's got something special that we hope we can develop. He's got to make the next step, and the next step is harder than what people think. You know, people think you just go from youth team football to first team football, and it's just like shelling peas. It's not. It takes a lot of hard work. It takes a lot of thought. And you know, we'll go through his clips with him, as we'll go through with all the players. Let's try and just improve them. We didn't have to play a lot better today to win the game. You know, we didn't have to do much different to win the game today. But we've lost it, and so we'll try and learn from the mistakes that we made today, and then we'll try and build on the promising things that we did. You know, to have so many shots as we did, and so many shots on target. Okay, you could say the first 2 or 3 by Jack were, you know, quite tame, but after that, you know, the keeper's being worked well, and
I think we've all sat through those games, haven't we, where one team sort of dominates and can't score, and the other team ends up running away and nicking it. I think,
yeah,
you know,
I mean, I don't
it
think
felt like one of those.
I think even the most ardent Crawley fan couldn't think that they deserved to win the game today, but they have to. So, you know, fair play to them.